Hello students, it's Miss Naraz. Today's video is about using unit rates. We already used them in class to find the better buy. Today we're going to use them slightly differently. Remember that a unit rate is the amount for one. Example 1 says, in the course of 5 years, a lobster molts 20 times. How many times would it molt in 8 years? I'm going to start off by writing my ratio 20 molts in 5 years, or my rate. Now, if I could go directly from 5 years to 8 years, I could solve my problem, but I don't know what to multiply 5 by to get to 8. So instead, I'm going to find the unit rate first, and then I'll use the unit rate to find the amount in 8 years. Go ahead and think to yourself, how would I solve this problem? Hopefully you said you want to divide by 5, and I get that the lobster molts 4 times in 1 year. Now that I have my unit rate, I can multiply it out by 8 to figure out the amount of times the lobster molts in 8 years. Go ahead and finish the problem. Should have gotten 32 molts in 8 years. Let's do another one. Example 2 says, last Saturday I hiked at an average rate of 2.5 miles per hour and was out for 4 hours. How far was my hike? I'm going to start off by writing my rate, 2.5 miles in 1 hour. Now, I see that there's a 1 in my denominator, so that's already a unit rate. It says I was out for 4 hours, so I'm going to multiply by 4. Pause the video to finish this off on your own. I hope you really did pause the video. And I get that in 4 hours, I hiked 10 miles. So my hike must have been 10 miles long. Miss Naraz hiked 10 miles. Now, how would I have done this problem differently if the question was, how far had I gone in 3 hours? Think to yourself. Well, it would be the same thing, except instead of multiplying by 4, I would have multiplied by 3, and I would get a slightly smaller number since I would have hiked for less time. How would it be different if the question said, how far could I go in 10 hours if I could keep pace, of course? Hopefully you said that the only difference would be I would have multiplied by 10 and gotten 25 miles, though I don't think I can really hike 25 miles in a day. Last example. It says 6 gallons of gasoline cost me $23.70. How much would 14.5 gallons cost? I started off by writing my ratio 2370 over 6 gallons. And the reason I put gallons in the denominator is because eventually I want to figure out 14.5 gallons. So I'm going to need to figure out 1 gallon. To solve this, I'm going to go ahead and find the unit rate. So I'm going to divide by 6. And I got $3.95 for 1 gallon. Now that I know the unit rate, I can multiply by the total number of gallons that I want, which is 14.5. And I used a calculator to figure this out, and my calculator said 57 and 275 thousandths. But I know that prices don't go into the thousandths, so I needed to round this to the nearest cent. So $57.27, but then I have a 5, which makes me round up. So $57.28 for me to fill up my cool buggy truck. So again, I wrote the ratio, found the unit rate, and then used the unit rate and multiplication to solve my problem. Thanks, guys. Oh, before you go, here are 3 problems that I want you to do on your own. Now, I'm not going to go over the answers. Your teacher is going to do that in class, but make sure that you have all 3 done. All right, guys,